This is the O2C Media Network, and this is after the first half, a sports final NFL recap from the 1 o'clock games. Now, here's your host, Steve the Baxman Baxley. Thank you, Franklin Pangborn. Good afternoon, everyone, and sorry for the way my hair looks. It looks awful, but yeah, it looks terrible. Terrible. I should get a cut one of these days. Anyway, let us get to it. Yeah, let's hit that restart button. Okay, we're going to get things restarted and going here with our little recap show. The 405 games and the 425 games, the table has already been set for them. So we give you the big old setaroo for what happened today. And I don't think you really want to know about the Lions. You do? Oh, boy. So let's...
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now.
Haha.
Please try a little later.
Let's get to the moments that we're here. We can... There we go. Let's get you to the 1 o'clock games. The doorkeeper, as they were, or as they are, and then we'll get you over to that other thing, which we like to call the AP Top 25, before we go back off the air. And here we got 4:14 left to play in the overtime. It is 1st and 10 on Green Bay's 40-yard line. Packers ball. Yeah, you do that. Okay, try that again, Steve. Thank you. Okay, we're in overtime. As soon as I set things up here, we're in overtime right now. 4 minutes and 1 second remaining, and the Packers and Bengals. Packers have the ball, 2nd and 10 on their own 40-yard line. It's 22-22. 2-minute warning has just been sounded in the nation's capital as the Saints lead the Washington 33-22. Less than 35 seconds left to play. Eagles lead the Panthers 21-18. Just getting underway is the Bears and Raiders, and right now 11:35 left to play in the opening quarter. Scoreless. 8:39 left in the first quarter. Browns and Chargers are scoreless. We got some finals from the 1 o'clock games. That 4:05 thing. Atlanta Falcons beat the New York Jets 27-20. Steelers back on the winning track. They beat the Broncos by a score of 27-19. Vikings, well, the Lions are doing better. Just they're showing the fight, but they're still in there. Like today, Vikings beat the Lions. Yeah. Vikings beat the Lions 19-17. Very good game. And we'll tell you more about that if they're the top 5 that we will be talking about on Tuesday. Buccaneers in a rout over the Dolphins, 45-17. Thank you. Patriots back on the winning track. They beat the Texans 25-22. Titans over the Jaguars 37-19. That may be Urban Meyer's final game as the coach of the Jaguars. After the controversy of this week, I have a feeling he may have not only lost the team, but I think after this, I'm going to make a prediction. By Monday, he'll be out of a job and probably back on Fox. Speaking of which, the 425s on Fox, Giants, Cowboys, 49ers, and Cardinals. Tonight's game, hey, everything's got a preview. Let's go for tonight's Sunday night game preview-wise. The Bills and Chiefs. And the Buffalo Bills thought they were closing the gap with the Kansas City Chiefs last season. Then everything went dark. No. Then they lost a pair of games to their old AFL nemesis, including the big championship game in January. But there are plenty of people that think they've closed the gap some more this season. They'll have a chance to prove it tonight. That's when Josh Allen and the Bills return to Arrowhead to face Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the latest edition of their burgeoning rivalry. Buffalo at 3-1 is fresh off a 40-0 blitz of Houston and riding high behind one of the NFL's best defenses. And Kansas City at 2-2 believes it's righted itself last week in Philadelphia after a rare 2-game skid. At least on defense, the Bills certainly seem to have a better team. Leslie Frazier's bunch has helped them to 3 straight wins after a opening loss to Pittsburgh. And even then, the Bills' defense allowed just 252 yards and 16 points. And when McDermott talks about experience in facing Kansas City last year, he's talking about defense that returns 10 starters. The only exception is defensive tackle star Lotelea, who opted out of playing last season for COVID reasons. They'll have their hands full with the Chiefs again, though not only is Mahomes playing at a high level after throwing 5 touchdown passes against the Eagles, so is Tyreek Hill, 3 of the TD catches. Tight end Travis Kelce and running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's coming off back-to-back 100-yard rushing performances. And by the way, the Chiefs could have wide receiver Josh Gordon on the field for the first time. Now, while the Bills' defense has been downright dominant, the Chiefs' defense ranks among the worst in the league in just about every category this season. That includes the one that matters the most, points. Kansas City has allowed at least 29 in every game so far this season. The Bills, they're 3-1 or better through 4 games for the 3rd straight season. Their best stretch since 1988-1996, which spanned their Super Bowl appearance years and closed with Jim Kelly's retirement. The Bills began last season 4-0 before losing consecutive games to Tennessee and Kansas City. As it happens, the Bills face the Titans next week. The Chiefs have had one of the NFL's worst red zone defenses this past 2 years. And that's about the best news Buffalo could hear. The Bills scored 3 touchdowns and settled for 4 field goals in 7 trips against Houston. And they have scored just 12 touchdowns, kicked 9 field goals, and 21 red zone tries this season. Allen and Mahomes are both known for their big arms, but the Bills and Chiefs had showed some solid offensive balance the past couple of weeks. Devin Singletary and Zach Moss have helped Buffalo top 100 yards rushing in each of the first 4 games, while Kansas City averaged nearly 6.5 yards per carry against the Eagles last week. And it's going to be a very interesting game. Let's give you the Rams and Seahawks. Well, no, let's not do that because they've already played. Let's go to the Colts and Ravens, shall we? We shall. And should be simple. Let's see. Okay. By the end of last year, it was clear the Baltimore streak of 100-yard rushing games mattered to Coach John Harbaugh. His players are also aware of it, although some of them have downplayed it to some degree. The question now is whether the Colts can do anything to stop it. The Ravens host Colts tomorrow night, and Eberflus's diplomatic comment about Baltimore's streak suggests that it might not be as much of a flashpoint as it was last week. At the end of Baltimore, the Ravens had quarterback Lamar Jackson run for a few more yards instead of taking a knee, pushing the team's rushing total into triple digits for a 43rd consecutive game. That tied an NFL record and left Broncos coach Vic Fangio very furious. Harbaugh made no apology about the record. Ravens offensive lineman Patrick McCarry said the players weren't that focused on reaching 100 yards. The coaches called the play, and the players' job is to execute it. Still, the home crowd Monday will likely be quite aware of what another 100-yard rushing game would mean. Ravens currently share the 3-1. Ravens at 3-1 currently share a record with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had 43 straight 100-yard rushing games from 74 to 77. The Colts at 1-3 are coming off their first win of the season. For what it's worth, they held Miami to 35 yards rushing last week, but their first 3 opponents reached 100. And although Baltimore has managed to keep its streak going, the Ravens' backfield has been unsettled thanks to season-ending injuries to J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Jackson's passing has picked up. Two of the top 3 regular season games of his career in terms of yards passing have come in the past 2 weeks. Indianapolis expected Carson Wentz's strong arm and ability to run to open up its offense. Now the Colts are finally starting to see some results. Despite playing the first 4 games with at least one offensive line starter out and playing the past 2 weeks with 2 sprained ankles himself, Wentz appeared to be rounding into form. He's completed 64% of his throws this season with 5 touchdown passes, plus 1 interception when Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald rerouted tight end Jack Doyle on a shovel pass. Ravens played 3 of their first 4 games on the road, but now they don't have another road game till November 11th. The next 4 games for Baltimore are at home, with an open date included in that stretch. Now, linebacker Justin Houston with the Ravens, now after 2 seasons in Indy, is 1.5 sacks away from 100 in his career. Now, this is the 3rd night game for the Ravens already this season. Their only other home game was a Sunday night win over Kansas City. Baltimore 16-2 in home primetime games under Harbaugh. So we'll find out what happens next. Okay, let's give you what we're also going to give you at midnight. That is, ladies and gentlemen, the AP Top 25. And after last night's stunner in Texas with Texas A&M, here's how the top 25 go, and I'm going to do this all in Shaggy's voice. Zoinks! Number 25, Texas. Number 24, San Diego State, Scoob. Number 23, SMU. Carolina State. Number 21, Texas A&M. Number 20, Florida. Number 19, BYU. Number 18, Arizona State. Number 17, Arkansas. Number 16, Wake Forest. Whoa. Number 15, Coastal Carolina. Number 14, Notre Dame. Number 13, Ole Miss. Number 12, Oklahoma State. Number 11, Kentucky. Run, Michigan State. Number 9, Oregon. Number 8, Michigan. Number 7, Penn State. Number 6, Ohio State. Number 5, Alabama. Number 4, Oklahoma. Number 3, Cincinnati. Number 2, Iowa. And number 1, the new number 1, Georgia. Alabama gets Georgia on their mind. I repeat, Michigan State 10, Michigan 8. I believe Michigan has the week off.
I'm writing it down. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Participation. You'll love it. Except when we're trying to wrap it up. But Michigan at 8th, Michigan State at 10th. And if we take a look at the schedule, and I want to make sure I get this correct. Let's see here. Oh, come now. Come, they told us week 7 is here. Okay, there is no schedule this time for week 7. Ain't that a piece of baklava? Let me see. Do we have the Big Ten? Let's see. We got the Big Ten schedule, don't we, on this? Thank you, boys. Okay, here are the important games to watch for in the Big Ten on week number 7. Michigan State will take on or will be on the road again. They will take their undefeated record to Indiana in a game that will be broadcast over Fox Sports 1 at noon Eastern time. And I do believe, yes, we can confirm Michigan does have the week off. Just for curiosity's sake, they're back, Michigan, on the 23rd against Northwestern at home. The time and network will be determined then. Michigan State will have the day off. And then the big one. And you're probably saying to yourself, what big one? The big one, I think it's going to be on the Big Rock Daddy Fox. Michigan at Michigan State. For those of you that have automobiles, avoid East Lansing at all costs on that day, Saturday, October 30th, because there's going to be more than trick-or-treating happening at Spartan Stadium. You can bet your buns on that. And folks, that is it for this week's edition. That is it for this week's edition of After the First Half. We'll be back tonight at midnight for a full hour-long recap of the day in sports, especially the, unless I miss my guess, we do have a playoff game in Major League Baseball to get to. You thought you got rid of baseball. You didn't. Let me just make a check before we make count of that. Let's not do that. We gotta go MLB. Thank you. And let's see. Well, we do have a score for you tonight. It's the American League games that are up and about, or will be up and about tonight. And oh boy, I'm glad these aren't on Fox. We got a score for you before we leave you. Tampa Bay leads Boston 2-1 in Game 3 of the American League Division Series. Series tied 1 game apiece. Tonight at 8:07 on Fox Sports 1, because the Big Rock Daddy Fox is celebrating Halloween early. You got the Astros and the White Sox, and this could be the grand finale for the Chicago White Sox unless they win. Houston leads the series 2-0. It's a best of 3 out of 5. And if they win tonight, the White Sox, how much you want to bet they're going to go under a dumpster fire sale again? But we will let you know all that tonight at, if I'm not mistaken, we're on the air at midnight no matter what. So there you go. We're on at midnight. We got a big hour. And we're going to try to fill it for you. We got about 45 minutes to an hour. Anyway, that's it for us. Enjoy the second half, the 4:05 and 4:25 games, and of course, enjoy tonight's Sunday night game. All of it for you, the home viewer, and we'll see you tonight at midnight, or maybe 5 minutes after midnight, with Sports Final as our sporty balls get huge on a Sunday night. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Steve the Baxman Baxley, along with his mother Sharon, saying bye-bye for this portion of After the First Half, a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. See you later tonight.